This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. The war is entering week 4. The US and Israel continue to claim victory. They say the fighting will end soon, but the battlefield tells a very different story. The attacks are escalating, and now Iran has shot a US F-35 jet. This is supposed to be a stealth jet, not to be detected by the enemy. It's been hit for the first time in a battle. Also hit is the Indian rupee. It has fallen to another record low of over 93 against the US dollar. Experts say it may fall even further. In the middle of this madness, a masterclass from the Japanese Prime Minister. She has shown world leaders how to survive Donald Trump. Also a special report on Qatar. Where does it stand in this war? Is it a mediator, a power broker, or a victim? And how is China poised? What's at stake for Beijing? How Eid celebrations will be muted this time in West Asia. How Denmark prepared for a war with the US over Greenland. What a boom in the weight loss drug market will mean for India. And how a fitness app accidentally revealed the location of a French warship. All this and more lined up. The headlines first. Donald Trump brands NATO allies cowards over their stance on the Strait of Hormuz. Trump said, and I'm quoting, "Without the US, NATO is a paper tiger." He wants these countries to help Washington secure the vital shipping route for oil tankers, but none of them were consulted before the US and Israel attacked Iran. The French Navy intercepts an oil tanker sailing from Russia in the Mediterranean Sea. The Mozambican-flagged vessel has been escorted to an anchorage for further checks. In late January, Paris had seized another tanker, which it said belonged to Moscow's shadow fleet. Russia says it is ready to help its crisis-hit ally Cuba, but Moscow did not comment on oil deliveries to the Caribbean island nation. Cuba has been under a US fuel blockade since January after Washington deposed its Venezuelan ally, Nicolas Maduro. UK lawmaker Nigel Farage says he will ban mass Muslim prayer at historic British sites if he becomes the Prime Minister. The remark follows the far-right leader's criticism of a Ramadan event in London's Trafalgar Square earlier this week. Nigel Farage is currently leading in the opinion polls, though the next general election is not due until 2029. And a Polish court says that same-sex marriages conducted in the member states of the European Union must be recognized. This is a landmark ruling for LGBT rights in the traditionally Catholic country. Poland is one of the few remaining European countries not to have legalized same-sex marriages or civil unions. Week 3 of the West Asia war is ending. It was a dangerous and escalatory week. We saw gas fields on fire. We saw missiles slamming into central Israel. We saw senior Iranian leaders being assassinated and soldiers marching into southern Lebanon. The question is, what comes next? What will week 4 look like? We are seeing contradictory signals. In public, both Israel and the US are projecting confidence. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke overnight. He said Iran's missiles have been decimated, and he claims that the war will end sooner than we think.
After 20 days, I can tell you, Iran today has no ability to enrich uranium, and it has no ability to produce ballistic missiles. We are continuing to dismantle these capabilities. We will crush them completely, down to dust, but I also see this war ending a lot faster than people think. I think in war, you have to grit your teeth.
I'm here in a nutrition center in South Sudan, witnessing children weak from illness and hunger, fighting their way back to life.
Donald Trump is also confident. He says the war will be ending soon, but if you look at the battlefield, that does not seem to be the case. Iran is still firing missiles and drones. Overnight, they launched around 6 waves at Israel. Thousands of Israelis had to rush into bunkers, plus the oil refinery at Haifa was hit. Take a look. Attacks were also reported in the Gulf. Bahrain, Kuwait, the UAE and Saudi Arabia reported drones and missiles. Most of them were intercepted. But Iran's major success came over its own airspace. Yesterday, a US F-35 fighter jet was flying over Iran. It was hit by Iranian fire. Tehran has released footage of the strike. Take a look at this. It's not clear if this video is authentic, but this is what the Iranian regime is circulating. They've released this video. And what happened to the jet, the F-35? It made an emergency landing at an American base in the region. According to the US military, the pilot is safe and sound. Nonetheless, this is a big deal. The F-35 has been in combat operations since the year 2018, yet this is the first time it was ever hit. We're talking about a $100 million warplane. It's supposed to be the stealthiest jet ever. Yet the Iranians tracked it and struck it. This attack raises questions about America's air dominance. Let me take you back to week 1 of the war. Listen to what Trump's Secretary of War said.
In a few days, in under a week, the 2 most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies, uncontested airspace. I hope all the folks watching understand what uncontested airspace and complete control means.
The US claimed that it would have aerial superiority by week 2. We are now entering week 4. Yet the most advanced US jet was shot, meaning Iran still retains significant capabilities, not just offensive, but also defensive capabilities. Now let's look at the other side. Israel is expanding its attack to new parts of Iran. They're hitting Iranian vessels in the north, in the Caspian Sea. These strikes have confused experts. The Caspian Sea is located to the north of Iran. It is sandwiched between Central Asia and the Caucasus. So it's not clear what the strategic payoff is. Has Israel run out of targets? Or is this just about expanding the strikes? Over in Lebanon, the campaign is intensifying. Israel claims to have hit more than 2,000 targets. The death toll has crossed 1,000 already. To put this in perspective, the death toll in Iran is just over 1,400. In Lebanon, it has crossed 1,000. It tells you how deadly the Lebanon campaign is. And now back to our main question. What's in store in week 4? The focus is likely to be on the Strait of Hormuz. Iran still controls the strait. Their chokehold has rocketed oil prices beyond $100 a barrel. Reports say Donald Trump is eager to break this strangle. He is using air power to reopen the strait. American warplanes and attack helicopters are flying over the shoreline. They're taking out Iranian speedboats and drones. The report mentions 2 specific aircraft. One is the Apache helicopter. The other is the A-10 Warthog. The A-10 was built to fly low and for longer periods. They also have tough armor. They're capable of taking enemy shots. These warplanes are trying to neutralize Iran's maritime capabilities. The problem is, all of this will take time. You will need weeks to clear out Iran's capabilities. Only after that can American warships or soldiers enter the strait. And even then, there's always a risk. An odd drone here or there could damage a warship. So chances are this next phase will focus on energy and the Strait of Hormuz. If Trump can reopen the strait, he will have more wiggle room. Lower energy prices will give him time to continue the fighting. Meanwhile, Iran's new supreme leader has just released a written statement. He says the US and Israel have been defeated by Iran. It's a brave and defiant statement by Mujtaba Khamenei. It sets the stage for another dangerous week of fighting.
القانون لا يحمي المغفلين وبهذا الباك غاش تعرف ليلي